Howdy folks, this is my box here, volume 3 of 5 boxes. Feels great to have 3 behind me now. And first thing that comes out of the box is a kind of a poster map of an old kind of it's a you know, big cabinet, like an old filing cabinet, and these are all the titles of the songs in this volume that goes from 1976 at the top to this bottom one is, last one is 1987, so 1976 to 1987. And now when we go through this, we have the CDs. First of all, we have a book. It's an old record book, and it has all of the a lot of photographs from during that, all those periods and everything. There's a nice shot of Linda on Broken Arrow Ranch a long time ago, and there's some interesting stuff in here. Pictures of that, of all that time, and records. There's a shot of David Briggs, and me and everybody else, Mo Austin, just a lot of stuff in here. Great old shots. There's a picture of me in my 57 Eldorado Buritz convertible, which I still have. I don't want to get rid of it. People are talking to me about auctioning my stuff off. I'm a little bit scared of that. So this is the book of records. Now there's one more part of this thing. It's a big part. It's a bunch of CDs. And I think we'll just try to go through them if I can figure it out. This is number 1 right here. I'm going to try to get it to come out. Come on out now. Come on out, number 1. Okay. CD number 1. It's called Across the Water. This is a great Crazy Horse live CD. And it has a lot of great stuff from Crazy Horse in 1976, over in Japan, and over in London, and in I think in some we were in Glasgow for part of it, in London, Odeon, Budokan, a lot of stuff there. Pictures of the horse. There's another cool picture there. And oh, that's great. Okay, lots of songs. Yeah, so that's the first one. Let's see, I guess I don't know if I should put them all back. Maybe I'll just put them down here. I'll put them right there. Pile of them growing. Okay, here's another one. This is the second one. This is Hitchhiking Judy. It's the name of this. There's a picture of Joni and I at the last waltz with the band in 1976. And there's the stage. And inside there is the performances that were around that. It was a lot of songs that I did acoustically on a tour that I was on, and then when I got to this show, the last waltz, I did a bunch of songs there, and they're all in here. And this one is called, from 1977, it's CD 3, The Ducks, Windward Passage. There's another picture of me there. I hope you can see that. I think you probably can. And there's a shot of the Ducks and I playing. This was a great time in Santa Cruz. I just done that tour that I was talking about where I did the last waltz, and then I was out on the road a little bit, and I just got kind of thought I'd turn off for a while and just do something else. So I moved to Santa Cruz and rented a little house on the ocean, on a cliff overlooking the ocean and the amusement park and the beach and everything, and just looking out at the water and hanging out there with my friend Mazio, who was such a great artist. And then we formed the Ducks. The Ducks with Jeff Blackburn from Blackburn and Snow, and Bob Mosley from Moby Grape, and Johnny Craviota, Johnny C., one of the great drummers, who has also made drums and made incredible drums. And so these guys were great, and we put together a band called the Ducks. And the Ducks were a real band. We did everybody's songs. It wasn't just my songs. It was a band of equals, and we played shows throughout Santa Cruz. We went to little clubs in Santa Cruz, and we would not play outside of the city of Santa Cruz. That was the mode we were in. And so we played all these great clubs in Santa Cruz, and it was truly a really, really great band. And so after that comes the next one. This is CD number CD4, Oceanside Countryside. After I was with the Ducks, I went to Florida, and I got this boat called the WN Ragland, an old sailing ship, Baltic trader, and we recorded there at a place. There was a studio called Triad that I recorded at, and I loved it there. And I did a lot of acoustic things, and I did a few overdubs on them, but it was mostly just me and my guitar doing Oceanside Countryside. A lot of cool songs came out of that you know, made it onto other albums too, because this album was not released. This is an unreleased one. And nice picture of the boat on the back, the huge sailboat, an old Baltic trader, and it had a nice schooner rig on it there. And I didn't know anything about sailboats, but I wanted to learn, so that was it. And that's what I looked like. So that's that. And then there's another one here coming right up. This is CD number 5, Neil and Nicolette at Union Hall. This was really cool. This is Nicolette Larson and I with a great band of musicians from Nashville. And we decided, when we were doing Comes a Time, at the time we were doing this album Comes a Time, and we decided to go and do a benefit in Miami, an outdoor benefit. And I wanted to take all the musicians that we were playing with in Nashville. So we all got on a plane and we went down there. The day before we went, we rehearsed our show at Union Hall in Nashville. And that's what all these pictures are from. It's us playing at Union Hall. And we did our rehearsal and we recorded it. And we recorded the whole thing. And that's what this record is. It's really cool. It's a live 2-track recording of the rehearsal, and it has a great sound and really good spontaneous music. I really love that record. And then coming up after that is CD 6. It's called The Boarding House. And I played The Boarding House in 19 whatever it was. 77, I guess, maybe. 1978, played the boarding house. And that was a cool one. Acoustic shows. I debuted about 6 or 7 songs that no one had ever heard before. And I played, at the same time as I was doing that, I went into a studio in South San Francisco and played with Devo and recorded Out of the Blue and Into the Black with Devo, with Boogie Boy and the Boys. And that was a pretty cool show, pretty cool recording session. So that's all in there. And then there's, I think, one more in the first half. And this is called Sedan Delivery. And this is just highlights from the Rust period, which I just looked at it, and there's been a lot of stuff out on the Rust period so far. So I put that all in there, organized into my favorite things. And then I also made a record called Coastline at that time. And these are the highlights from both those records are in this. And then, it's funny, it seems like there's another record missing that I didn't talk about here. But I didn't, oh, Snapshot in Time. Snapshot in Time, I think is, yeah, Snapshot is, this is the 3rd CD again. We're back at number 3. Number 3 CD as Snapshot in Time has me and Nicolette and Linda and David Briggs sitting around a table at an old house in Malibu on the water, and I was playing to the girls all of these songs that I had not released, and there were quite a few of them, and they were singing, making up harmonies as we went through them. And so that's like a documentary, audio documentary of that moment. And so that's part of that one, disc 3, which is also the ducks. The other part of it is the ducks. So I told you about the ducks. So that's it. I just missed that one part. And moving on. Let me see where this is now. Where's the next one? Where's the next ones? Okay, let's see what we got here. CD number 8 is called Trans and Johnny's Island. There's 2 records in here. And these are highlights from Trans and the period of Trans where we did that with the my son Ben had been born, and I did this record about doctors trying to teach someone who couldn't talk and was born and couldn't talk and couldn't do all the things that regular kids could do. And the doctors were working and everything, and then, so I made up a whole story about it and wrote a bunch of songs. And a lot of the singing is through an electronic device called a vocoder that I sang through. And so Trans is a very special record. And there's also now in this box set, which we'll get to in a few minutes, there's a bunch of Blu-ray discs in there. And there's a movie of Trans, which has never been seen, which is an animated film that Micah Nelson did, and I think it's beautiful, it's great. And I wanted to do all that. Trans was a hard record. Trans was a hard record to make and to put out because no one really understood what I was doing. They didn't want me to sing through the machine. They didn't understand the story of what I was telling. It took a long time for that to take place, and speedboat going by on the lake out there. It's a beautiful lake. And so Trans, and then on the other side of that is Johnny's Island. After we recorded Trans, around the same time, we went to Hawaii with Nils Lofgren and Ben Keith and Joe Lala and Bruce Palmer and Ralph Molina and I. And we recorded Johnny's Island. Okay, guys. All right, that's it. Thank you. All right, Johnny's Island, trans, moving on to the next record. This is CD 9 and Dogs. CD 9 has got, it's called Evolution. Goes through a lot of changes. There was a period in the 80s where I did a lot of different styles, and it really did them one after the other, and they're all in here. It's there's country and rockabilly kind of stuff and the trance type of stuff. So it's all in here in kind of a collection of live performances and studio records. And here is Road of Plenty, a live record, and another live record, Grey Riders. So that's Grey Riders is International Harvesters with Rufus Thibodeau and Hargus Pig Robbins and some of the greatest musicians ever. Ben Keith, Joe Allen, Carl T. Himmel, amazing musicians playing in that. And then the other one, other side of this is Road of Plenty, which is me and Crazy Horse playing on the road, and in that year from 1984 to 1985. So that's Road of Plenty. And then after that comes a record called Summer Songs, and that's 1987. And these songs were songs that I was thinking of recording, and Nico Bolas came to the ranch, and I wanted to just put them all down with me. So we did all the recordings with just me, and added a few instruments here and there that I heard. They were kind of like sketches of the songs. And so Summer Songs, that's the name of it. And it's a beautiful record. These are all a lot of originals, the first time I ever played a song. And that's how many, that's a lot of those are like that. And so that's all the CDs. And then after you get to the CDs, we get to disc number 1 of the Blu-rays. So this is the Blu-ray disc Across the Water, which is the film of the CD that was the first CD that I showed you out of this pile here. So it's a great film. It's about almost 2 hours of Crazy Horse that's never been seen. It's a wonderful film, and I really like it. And got a lot of classic Crazy Horse moments. Fantastic. And these are the Blu-rays, and here's another set of Blu-rays. This one is Berlin and the Boarding House the Boarding House Blu-ray, which is a movie of the boarding house. And then there's Berlin, which is a show I did in Berlin in I think 82 or something. And it's with Bruce Palmer on bass. That's a great show. And Trans. This is where the animated Trans that Micah Nelson did is in. It's in this disc. It's a full-length animated, and there's Human Highways in there too. There's a lot of stuff in there. Human Highway, the film, I think, is in there. And then this is the last Blu-ray, and this is four more films. One of them is The Catalyst. Another one is Solo Trans, produced and directed by Hal Ashby. then In a Rusted Out Garage with Crazy Horse, and then there's one more called Muddy Track, which is a film that I made myself of a tour we did in Europe where, you know, the houses were like half full all the time and nobody was coming to see us, and it was like, you know, we were washed up or something, but we didn't know it. So we kept on going, and so that's what this film is about. And I did a lot of interviews, but instead of doing them the way they usually happen, I interviewed all the interviewers. So in the movie, I'm asking questions of all the interviewers. They just turned it around, and we did it that way. They didn't know that was going to happen, but it did. And so that's what Muddy Track is about. So those are all the Blu-rays. The CDs are here. They come in this package, a package of all this stuff, and then this on top of the records. Here's the book. All right, and great pictures in this book, and lyrics and all kinds of other stuff in there in the record book. So there's a lot of stuff, folks. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you enjoy it very much. And we're started on volume 4 already, so it's cool. I'm having a great time with that. I love doing this. I have all these things. I might as well, I kept track of them and kept them all, so I'm putting them together. So they're just, it's really just for the hardcore fans. If this is something you want to have, I really tried to make it really good and make it great for you. So lots of love. Thank you so much. Here's my box. Here's my beautiful stuff. There's a few of them on the floor. Look at that. Oh my God, look at that. Already we got them on the floor. Wow. What a picture. That's a weird picture of me.